안녕하세요. 토크살롱 시청자 여러분, 서울 스피커스 뷰러의 알렉스입니다. 오늘은 탁월한 식견으로 정확한 전망을 내리는 미래학자 한 분을 모셨는데요. 전 세계 10대 미래학자 중에 한 명이며 신이 되려는 기술의 저자이시기도 하죠. 특히 엄청난 속도로 발전하고 있는 인공지능을 우리가 어떻게 바라봐야 하는지, 또 인간성, 즉 휴머니티를 어떻게 지켜야 되는지, 그 가능성과 위험성에 대해서 여러 모습을 세계적인 미래학자 게르트 레온하르트를 모시고 한번 들어보도록 하겠습니다. Hello, Gerd. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you.
You are here to guide us for the future that is both technologically rich and human-centric. So could you just give a little introduction of yourself and what brought you come to here to Korea?
Okay, so I'm Gerd Leonhard, futurist. I live in Zurich, Switzerland. I'm from Germany originally, and I've spent 17 years in America. I've been a futurist for 25 years. My company helps organizations and governments to reinvent and to understand the future. So I'm really happy to be back.
Gerd,
Yes.
as a futurist and humanist, I can say that. So you believe in the future meant for human. You especially inspire the many to imagine and create a better tomorrow with your speeches. Mm-hmm. How do you say that AI and the future technology be used in order to create the good future?
Yeah, so a big topic for me is the good future. Because I think we need to think about what we want from the future rather than what is possible. Many people have said that artificial intelligence can eventually be as good as a human. And there have been many discussions about what that means. For example, humans have consciousness, we have human agency, we have feelings, we have a body. Basically, the discussion of artificial intelligence is one about what we are and what the machine is. And I always say that we should be careful to keep separate definitions. So the computer is a binary experience, intelligence is just on logic. So the computer can know everything, but it cannot be anything. So it can't be angry, it can't be excited, it doesn't exist. So I speak a lot about what the good future contains as far as we are concerned. If we can use machines and AI and computers to actually help with practical things, then we can make our lives a lot easier. We can make them faster, more efficient, less pollution, less waste. We can make the shift to energy. So basically, artificial intelligence is a power tool. It's a tool that helps us to get things done. However, it should not be used to replace human decision-making. And this is the danger, of course, that we may eventually get too lazy and start using machines to do most of our work, even the work that we should do. Well, one thing that's really important to understand is that technology is a great financial driver, It drives our society. So we have the internet technology, we have mobile technology, we have cloud computing, quantum computing, and we have technology. So generally speaking, if we have technology to help us, it becomes a very big economic factor. Technology drives economic issues. But we should keep in mind that technology does not help to improve social or political or policy or personal issues. I think it's okay to use technology for entertainment and for hedonism, which is simple pleasure, for example, social media. But when it replaces humans, then it has the opposite effect. So we disconnect from each other. And this is important to keep in mind that, and this is one of the difficult things, is that nobody wants to reduce the economic power because it's about jobs and growth. And this is why, for example, in America, we will never see a lot of regulation of technology because it's a huge economic driver. And the danger of that is that we start replacing human processes and human relationships with technology.
Now I got to say that the video you speak in Korean. Oh yeah, it was fascinating.
기술은 우리 사회를 이끌지만 인간성, 가치관, 그리고 윤리가 우리 사회를 정의하게 됩니다. 지능에만 집중하는 사회는 멸망하게 됩니다. 이것이 오늘 서울에서 개최된 오늘 제 강연의 두 가지 핵심 메시지입니다.
I received that before and I was very surprised that you speak Korean. But I know that this is made by the AI, correct? You don't speak Korean?
No.
Okay. It is very surprising that even the lip movement it matches completely to the word that were coming out of your mouth. So when I say that, I feel very excited. However, it also very scary to think that AI can be trained to mimic some persons so easily. So what are some ways we can prevent bad AI and help the people differentiate the real from the fake?
Well, I always say it's a little bit like printing money. Only certain people are allowed to print money. And if you make fake money and you use fake money, it's a big crime. The temptation is that when we have a technology that allows to copy humans in video or audio, one thing we can do there, of course, is to prevent the creation of these models unless it's authorized. So, for example, I have to authorize these applications like HeyGen or Rask that I use. I have to authorize them to use my voice. And then, of course, the quality is good, but it's definitely not the same than real life. So you can see the difference. So when you have the video with HeyGen with me speaking Korean, you would know that it's well done, but it's not the real thing, right? So there's two big things I think that are happening here, or maybe three. One is that we should probably keep the quality limited to 95%, not 100%. We should get permission. And the third thing is that we need a process in place that goes through authentication and safety. However, I think the reality is that yes, this will be possible. People will use it even without permission.
Thank you for your sharing. On your talks, you just mentioned about the purpose of the technology and AI specifically a lot. So the reason for this technology to exist is in the way that help the humankind instead of using that just for the quick profits. Honestly, that's true. That's real. So, how do you convince the people that or the industry that they're still stuck in the mindset to suddenly switch gears? So, what could incentivize them to move forward, helping them rather than harming?
Yes, we had a similar situation in climate and the industrial economy. So in the industrial economy, we invested a lot of money into oil and gas and cars and factories, and because it was clear that if we don't want to fall behind, we have to use oil and gas and nuclear power to power the economy. And we knew that there was a side effect, pollution, emission, and climate change. And we kind of ignored it, and we went ahead with the industrial society, of course, without much thinking about this. And now we have the result, which is global warming, very likely to be 2 or 3 or 4 degrees of global warming. So this is a major factor in our lives now. We can fix it, but it's a tough road, right? Now with artificial intelligence, we could in principle do the same thing. So we use technology to make more money, to be faster, to have more power. But the side effects would be that we run out of control. We destroy democracy. We create a world where machines do our thinking and where it's the end of human civilization as we know it. Some people say that is the case by 2050. The difference to climate change is that we cannot go back to fix once we have artificial, generally intelligent beings. It's very hard to go back and take them out because we're taking out how things work. So we need to have more foresight when we develop these technologies so that we can stay in control, that we can keep safety and security. And this is the current debate about, for example, I know in this country also about legislation and regulation on what is allowed and what is not allowed. So I say in many ways, safety and security of artificial intelligence is a little bit like nuclear power, where we allow people to have a reactor, maybe, but not bombs. And so far that has worked, but it's difficult, because the thing is, of course, about nuclear that it takes a lot of technology and plutonium to build a bomb. It does not take that much to make an AI. So the hope is that we can find a global standard that will prevent an arms race. And of course, AI is used in the military as well. So there's a very big incentive to get power by using AI. And this has to be regulated because in maybe 5 years, we will reach the point where we can have an artificial, generally intelligent, digital human, where we would need to be at that point to be ready.
Thank you very much for your sharing your valuable time. And I really hoped that we can move forward for the good future together.
Thank you.
I also hope to see you again soon.
I hope so too.
세계적인 물리학자 스티븐 호킹은 인류 문명 최대의 위협을 대비하라고 했고, 또 일론 머스크는 인공지능이 핵무기보다도 더 위험하다고 했습니다. 기술이 발전할 수도 또 더 많은 문제를 풀 수도 있지만 또 문제를 만들 수도 있겠죠. 인공지능과 관련된 기술은 매우 복잡하고 또 빠르게 발전하고 있습니다. 그 속도와 정도를 우리가 매일 피부로 느끼는 건 아니지만 세상은 늘 조금씩 그러다 어느 순간 갑자기 변하게 되는데요. 인공지능과 다른 인간, 바로 우리 휴머니티를 지키기 위한 인간의 노력이 계속되지 않으면 어느 순간 우리는 돌이킬 수 없는 위험에 빠질 수도 있을 텐데요. 오늘 게르트 레오나르트와의 대화 어떠셨나요? 현명한 미래를 위한 여러분 준비에 힘이 되기를 바라며 저희는 다음 시간에 또 다시 돌아오겠습니다. 그럼 안녕!